Yes. Welcome back to Vendetta Ink, where we only have Alkaline related or Vendetta related content on the syllabus. Now, if the content doesn't always say, make sure you engage with it by liking, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe to the youth. Now, this is episode 12, and it is Alkaline, the benchmark for dancehall. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to keep it short and spicy because that's what the girl them like it. You understand? Yeah, but before we get into that, I'm going to start about the video on my intro with Alkaline performing Girl with a Barbados. You can see the way OEG the move like him happy, you know, by him saying, yo, pull up, like a G does kind of marvel to say, yo, I'm me, I do this, I really me. I make them people that sing me song word for word. Like you talk a little school youth where attend Arden High was able or is able to make people sing me song word for word. Like me not have to sing, me not have to perform, they can perform. I me just sit down and listen to them like I really mean this. Yeah man, I just feel like say down up on the G man and the G I say yo. Like him I feel to say yo, pull up a car. You see me? But you know the thing already. The G at work, so when you put in work, you must see the result already. You know, you're supposed to reap some benefits. You're supposed to get some returns, man. When you put in hard work. So that is the result of it, Alkaline. So best up yourself. And my artist said way. The next thing we're going to talk about is the fact that Elevate is out. You know, if you haven't pre-ordered, you can purchase straight up from iTunes or you can buy it from Amazon Music. I will drop the links in the description. You can get them right now. And we can promise you that you will love it. Because me listen to all of the track them every day. When I go to work, when I come from work, straight through, no skips, right? I have my two favorite track on the said way. But who knows, tomorrow morning my favorites can change based on how I feel. You know, depends if me in a war mood or whatever it is, kind of low war thing, but it is there. So I'm sure that there's a song on it that you will love, right? So grab it. The next thing I'm going to talk about is Alkaline being in Antigua. So this weekend is make sure it's on a reach. You see me? All who live over Antigua make sure it's on the reach of the event. Who are going to travel, go to Antigua for the event and go on. And whoever go record the show so we can get the content for react to go and go do it. You see me? Yeah, if you know, you know. Yeah. So we are getting into it. See? Alkaline is a benchmark for dancehall. So blueprint is another word that people would probably think of, but I am thinking of benchmark. And I think there's a slight difference with blueprint and benchmark. It just, I'm gonna read the definition of some things in this video. So remember, we are bright people. So we don't really talk bullshit. We kind of do a research, you know? We kind of different. We do research and we make sure so everything connect. Because we don't want us to ramble, you know? So I'm gonna talk about blueprint first and then we talk about benchmark. I'm gonna just read the definition. So blueprint describes, blueprints in this case, a person, idea, or creation that is the perfect example, foundation, or master plan for others to follow. It suggests that the subject is original and set the standard for an entire trend or industry, meaning others are simply copying or building upon their work. Right. So that is blueprint. I'm going to read benchmark now and then you can tell me if you spot the difference. So a benchmark is a standard or point of reference against which other things can be compared, measured, or judged. It serves as a baseline to evaluate quality, performance, and progress across various industries. Now, the difference with the blueprint and the benchmark is that the benchmark is where the comparison comes in. So when I say Alkaline is a benchmark for dancehall, whatever Alkaline does in dancehall, the other people in a dancehall, they try to compare themselves to what Alkaline did. So if Alkaline's achievement was getting 15,243 people in the Barclays Center, the next people, they would like to say, oh, we did 15,500 for the Barclays Center. We did better than Alkaline. When it comes to Alkaline, and that was just an example, when it comes to Alkaline, Alkaline is just happy that he was able to pull 15,200 plus people. But to them, they are happy that they did better, that they did better than Alkaline. That is the difference. They are so caught up with doing better than Alkaline that everything that they do, it's like the first thing they think about is it going to be better than what he did? It's the comparison part type. It's the judgment, the point of reference part type. You know, when I'm try if you compare the thing to our next man, and Alkaline has always be the person who they try to compare them work towards, right? I compare it with. No, the thing about Alkaline is Alkaline don't really care. Let me say it again. The thing about Alkaline is Alkaline doesn't care if you did better than him. He does not care. He does not care if you have more album sales than he did. He does not care if you pulled more in an arena than he did. He does not care if you make more money than him. Alkaline does not care. Alkaline is only in competition with himself. Alkaline is only comparing his yesterday versus his today. That is the only thing that you can get from Alkaline when it comes to comparison. Alkaline is just referencing what he did in 2016 versus what he did in 2021 versus what he was able to do in 2026. Alkaline is trying to always being a reference for himself to grow. And that is the reason why we rate Alkaline, because Alkaline doesn't care about what you have going on. He's just trying to be great. And that is different than you. Y'all just want to be better than everybody else. So just understand that, right? Now it is important to also say that the brand Alkaline, the character Alkaline, the artist Alkaline is the perfect mold of an artist or a brand that a record label would love to have. Now, I can say without even talking to Alkaline that Alkaline could have already been a signed artist, but he chose to be independent. Now, what are some things, because if you disagree with that, what are some things that a record label would look for when they might look for your artist? See? We're going to just run through some pointers. As we say, short and spicy. Audience traction and streaming metrics. So the audience traction and streaming metrics would be the label them whether they look for if your listeners on a monthly basis, they will be looking on your regular numbers per month. If I get what I say. They might look if it's consistent throughout the month. They might look if you have engagement with the fans. They might look if the fans are so connected with everything that you have going on. So the part where I say, like engagement with your fans, it doesn't always mean being on the internet. It means the content that you produce, are your fans interacting with what you do? You made a post on Instagram. Is it a case that when you make a post on Instagram, you get at least 100,000 likes and 50,000 comments on your video, on your picture or videos or any content you post on Instagram? That's just an example. On the TikTok, whenever you post music, do you have it where people are posting your song on other accounts on behalf of you, or are people posting with your sound with themselves on their, their page. Then you could think there. They want to see how the fans them are react to your music or engaging with your music. Those are things that they look for. Are those things Alkaline doing? Yes, because Alkaline, when it comes to the monthly listeners on Spotify, for example, Alkaline's numbers are very consistent. So you as a label, when you see a consistent number every month or close to this amount every month, you know what to expect. It's not a mistake that he's getting it. It is happening frequently and it's happening regularly, so you know it is real. The next thing, the it factor and brand. A highly defined personal aesthetic. Me not have to explain that. A compelling visual identity. Me not have to explain that. Me not have to do that. That's self-explanatory because Alkaline is him, right? The next thing on that is and a unique sound that fits into current commercial brand. No, this is where it gets interesting. There is a key word in that line, and we're on the second point just to say. Current trends. Does Alkaline fit into current trends? No. Alkaline does not fit into current trends. Does Alkaline fit into current commercial trends? Yes. So you see, the word commercial is something that differentiates what the labels look for in an artist than what really happens in the genre, right? Now, current trends would be the chopping songs. Those are current. Those are things that are frequently happening, but those songs are not commercial. Now, when we're talking about commercial, we're talking about big scale things. So, since we want to know, we are going to define commercial since we're there. Commercial music, and the music we are dealing with, refers to tracks marketed directly to the masses. So you see the word market now. The word market is important in this definition as well. I don't want to drag out the thing too far, but we're going to keep it concise. See? So commercial music refers to tracks marketed directly to the mass. Directly. See? Marketed directly. And if you're directly marketing your music, it means you're doing market segmentation. Welcome to class. Yes. Yeah, man. Social studies. Social studies. Lord God. Yeah. So market segmentation. Can we do this in a business management? See? Market segmentation is when you can categorize the market based on some measurable statistic or statistical attributes. See? The examples would be like age or gender or income when it comes to the market. Because if you're doing business, you have to know where customers them be, what type of customer them be, and what them like, right? So when it comes to the music, you have to know your demographic. You have to know your audience. You have to know your fan base. Like for Alkaline, if I'm going to do a song today, for example, he's thinking, all right, if you do a song today, all right. Yesterday, I release a girl song. I release Girl Good. Zine. Yeah, I release Better Body. So the girl them have two tunes. And the album we have Graduate, we Tugs them, like we Jenna them. You see me? And then we have different story and them thing that we people them. We want reality. But what we don't have yet, the G they will rather enjoy themselves. Them want that tune too. So we need to get something for them the type of people. And that's where they can come. You understand what I say? So Alkaline knows his fan base. Now, if you notice, the girl tune them did it for the summer because he knows that he has a majority female fan base that is segmenting you put them in a different segments. So the man from the woman, that is by the gender. So you know him have more female fans than male fans. Now, apart from that, it's alright, what the age of my fan base. So the reason why Alkaline does the music he does is because he knows he doesn't have his fan base is more close to his age range. You understand what I say? So now young people who they go to school, you know, I feel like the biggest part of fan base. So him can only or mainly do music for them the people. What him have to do, him have to say, all right, me have people who high up in a age or around my age or mature people, so me have to do mature music. That is one way of identifying your fan base. Also, another thing with Alkaline music, he knows that the people who listen to him, they are 9 to 5 workers. So, a people who get up and go work every day or have them business, Alkaline is not looking to do music to choppers because him know they are not majority consumers of his music. That is where the commercial side of things come in, where he can identify the different parts of fan base and make sure say him have music catering to everybody that is within his fan base. He knows. That's why you see Alkaline don't really delve into the current trend. And when I go back to Yasso, the current trend, it doesn't fit into the current trend, but the commercial trend, that is Alkaline. Because when it comes to getting, the music that people on a broader scale would want to listen to, that is where he comes in, that is where he fits. The unique part where most of the people not do, but a lot of people love. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Next thing, work ethic and content output. We never talk about that. Zin? So we know that. We don't talk about that. But one word in that, when we take out is the word is say independently. You know? Say him can operate independently as a small business. Yeah. That is Alkaline for sure. Live performance draw. No. This is where it gets interesting. Because the live performance draw by Alkaline is next to none in dancehall right now. And we can attest to that because Alkaline is the only man who can put on a show right now with himself and sell it out. The other people, they will sell it out if they try to prove a point. But on a regular day, remember Alkaline have new rules himself. So live performance draw is about the ability to sell tickets and draw a crowd to local venues, demonstrate a highly loyal, localized fan base. Me not have to go no further than that. Just the mere fact that Alkaline is doing new rules, and new rules is a yearly thing, alone would stand out to anybody at all who would say, hey, more sign an artist, let me see what Alkaline have. Just the ability to be a solo headliner. He can be the only performer and he can fill the Barclays. He can fill new rules. He can do all of these things. He can say new rules next year and new rules tickets sell out. Or if it even is a mixture artist and Alkaline will be there, I can guarantee you that people would buy the ticket just because he is there, especially in 2026. And it has been that way for many years. See? So, that's Alkaline right there. So. And the last thing, clear legal standing. See? A clean legal history and the absence of pre-existing binding contracts, including past publishing or distribution agreements, to prevent future disputes. Now, this is the advantage of being independent and also the advantage of performing solo on most of your tracks. Now, you don't have to have or get the legal agreements if you are thinking of signing over a song or selling a song. You don't have to go through too many channels to get that done. He can just get up to the Talk to Him team and just decide to sell 1 or 2 songs out of catalog, because he does most of his songs independently or by himself. So that is power for him. Now, when you look at this and you can relate everything that is on this list, as I say, it is not the end all be all, but we have to start with a little guideline, right? When you look at this, you can only look and say Alkaline is the perfect artist in which a label would have to look for. You understand? And if you are the perfect artist that a label will look for, but you're working independently, it shows you have an advantage. It shows that you're capable of getting the best output without being signed. You do not need the support of a label because you are already doing the things that they want by yourself. Now, the benchmark thing is just Alkaline, just, me I do my thing. So whatever results come of it, if improve on it, I will. So the other man them where use them thing if you compare to Alkaline, we don't really see one, we don't really business. We talk about numbers in the fact that we're trying to show our fans or ourselves, say, hey, our last album we did 50 copies. So next year we want 200. The benchmark is for us to do better next year. You understand me I say? So the ball game different. I always try telling us, say, yo, you see, when it comes to vendetta business, it is not about what we do better than you. It is what we can do better with ourselves the next time. So a different ball game. So the next time when you see Alkaline do something, and on the wrong go do it too, and then on probably get a better count. Yeah man, kudos to you, but on now what are we doing? We are comparing with ourselves. So just make sure say what not do it a benefit to you right way, see? Yeah. That is it. And if there's any other thing where you think you'd add, you can just always type it in that comment. We comment free. Yeah man, bless up on yourself.